oven. Got my 12 cookies lined up, and the oven has been set to 350. And the cookies will bake for 12 to 15 minutes, depending on if you like them on the soft side, 12 minutes, on the a little bit crispy side, 15 minutes. And then I'm going to show you what I do with the rest of the cookie dough. Because you know, sometimes if you have a small family, you really don't want, or you live alone, you don't really want a ton of cookies hanging around. We know where that goes. And the cool thing about these cookies, you can freeze them. So I have my little pan here, and I'm simply going to shape the rest of the cookies in this pan, and they'll have their own little piece of parchment paper. I've cut off another piece of parchment paper, which when you discover parchment paper, you're going to be like, where have you been all my life? I mean, you can even put it down in the lasagna pan, and dishes are much easier. Okay. Which I am going to show you later how to make the most amazing vegan lasagna ever. And we'll use parchment paper then too. So, you know, I've been making these cookies. I'm a yoga teacher on Maui, and I love to serve these cookies to my students after class. And I wrote the recipe book, but still, people are like, my cookies don't come out like yours. And so I thought, all right, I'm going to show them step by step with video how to do this, because these cookies are the bomb. Okay, so the last one, the straggler, he needs some help. This is where a rubber spatula comes in. And again, this seems a little, maybe this is a little OCD, I don't know. But for me, the cleanup's a little bit easier, and it just takes maybe a minute or two. So I'm just scraping out with the edge of the rubber spatula the rest of the cookie dough. And it's amazing how much is there. You're like, wow, that didn't look like much, but it's a whole cookie. And then I'm just sort of doing a shape by hand on this last cookie. And then, don't worry, it's my last round. Yeah, and then we're ready. Cleaning off the little scooper. Okay, now we're going into OCD, Bill. Done! And then I'll shape this cookie. And then I'm just going to cover this, probably just put a plastic bag over it, and put it in the freezer. And then later, when you remember you have cookies in the freezer, you're so stoked, because they can go right from the freezer into the oven. You have some friends over, you want to surprise your lover, and suddenly the room is filled with the aroma of baking cookies, and you didn't have to do a thing. All right, so this is a good time while the cookies are baking to get your freezer cookies ready, and then do a little bit of cleanup. And the cleanup is so easy with this recipe. So have fun with that, and then I'll see you momentarily in about 12 minutes and show you the cookies when they come out of the oven. Okay, here we are with cookies out of the oven. And I can tell as I touch the cookies that they're nice and crisp on the outside, which I really like. And I've broken this one open, and it's nice and soft, very slightly crumbly on the inside. And the texture, because of the coconut flour again, is really unique. It's light and fluffy, and they're so easy to digest. And again, because of the high level of protein in the flour, and coconut flour is gluten-free, you don't feel that sluggish feeling after having sweets. So really magical desserts, these cookies, and I highly recommend learning how to make them in your own kitchen. Or not, because soon in your frozen section at your health food store, Jenny's cookies will be available in pre-formed frozen dough. Jenny's cookies, look for them. We're going to have fantastic flavors like chocolate chipped ginger, pumpkin hazelnut chocolate chip. We'll have lemon poppy seed and almond lavender, gingerbread, carrot raisin, and all the traditionals too, chocolate macadamia nut and brownies. And they go right from the freezer into your oven. If you're a college student, they'll go right into your toaster oven in your dorm room. So Jenny's cookies coming soon. But meanwhile, you could try this recipe out at home. And I like to serve it with tea. I don't know if you can see this tea I've made. It's called Mayan Cocoa Spice. Woo, it's to die for. And I add some honey and some rice milk. If you want to be a pure vegan, then you can use maple syrup instead of the honey. There's so many bees here on Maui, and my neighbors make the most bomb honey. So I like to put a dollop of honey in. But what a fantastic dessert. Little cookies, you know they're good for you. Wonderful tea, Mayan cocoa spice, and you're not going to get the belly bomb. You're going to sleep well and feel great about life. Thanks for tuning in to Jenny's Kitchen. Tune in often. We're going to have lots of delights for you. Aloha.